Hello and welcome everyone, I am duckyobrien, and today I'll be going over a game called Chicken Police Painted Red. Chicken Police Painted Red was developed by The Wild Gentleman. It was published by HandyGames, which is a division of THQ Nordic. It's released onto the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and the PC on November 5th, 2020. With the MSRP of $19.99. I want to get into it. This is a very charming point-and-click murder mystery. As you can tell, it's going to be in the film noir kind of theme. One thing before we start, there is a bug where I don't know if it's on all PCs, but on Windows 7 PCs, because I'm using Windows 7 right now, the cutscenes won't play, so you'll think your game is frozen. Just left-click the mouse button and you'll skip it, and if you really want to watch the cutscenes, you can go into the directory, the game directory on Steam, wherever that's installed, and then you can watch the cutscenes yourself. It's not ideal, but just letting people know in case they think their game's broken. Why don't we start a new game? Oh, I see. As you can see, there's supposed to be a cutscene that played. It looks like it's frozen. Just simply click the mouse button.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Yeah, everything is voice acted, and the voice acting is pretty lovely. There's these portraits. These characters are slightly disturbing in that they have a fully animal head and then a human body. Sometimes they have like clouds or fur sticking out. It grows on you, but yeah, it's a bit jarring. So this is like the point and click.
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles. I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid, but I think I'm gonna end up dead in here whether I like it or not. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know. My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real, the badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes, just in case.
So you do have some game mechanics, but this is mostly like an immersive story.
I haven't dusted you off in a while, partner. Looks like I may be needing you now.
There are some like questioning sequences, so the gameplay is light, but the atmosphere and the immersion is pretty great.
Oh man, I totally get you. Ironic, but ever since I've been on furlough, with only my fake badge sitting in my cabinet, I feel more like a cop than I ever had before. More like a Clawville cop, anyway.
You have your notes here, people you've seen, places, Kodak stats. There's like collectibles you can collect as well.
Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter. The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes. M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight. The wild gentleman. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
That might be a developer insert, you never know.
I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever. I don't even know what these papers are. Every whiskey has the same color nowadays, at least in this price range. I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve?
By the way, there are going to be a lot of animal puns.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah.
Lower the volume just a tad.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Yeah, look, this is a little, I don't know, it looks a little weird that they have human hands. It does grind you when it's gloved, but when it's like human skin, I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Also, if you want to skip the dialogue, you can. If you want to replay it, you can. Also, if you want to autoplay it, so you can just sit and watch it, and it definitely feels like a movie, you can do that as well, so it's up to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
And I'll show off the autoplay.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've gotta have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Huh. Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
So here's another movie. I'm really sad it doesn't play on my computer because they look good, by the way. Alright.
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Okay, so you got new functioning questioning. This I don't fully understand because you get a rating afterwards, and you know you can get scored. I think out of 100. So I'll just show it off. So this is your detective meter. You want it to go up, and you see their impression suspicious. So you have to watch out for like certain lines of questioning. This is kind of like a nice flowchart, but you know it's not very obvious. So
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard. Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Now, last time when I first played it, when I asked her this question, she didn't want to answer it. So I'll go with this one and see what happens.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
You're right. Sorry.
-10. Ooh, okay.
Did you come alone? All by yourself?
I took the subway, then the tram, and then I walked. It wasn't easy to find this place, and to be honest, I had to be discreet.
Yeah, well, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
This is quite unpleasant for me.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Catzanko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
Look how tiny his head looks. Let's see.
What do you want from me?
Me?
Oh, don't be silly, Deborah. I mean your employer. I was just talking to myself, out loud.
Well, Miss Catzanko thinks you're a great detective, and you're also reliable. That's why I came.
Did she also give you the lockpick?
Please, could you let this go? I'm really embarrassed.
Sorry, sweetheart, I'm just teasing you. As soon as I saw you, you were forgiven.
That's very nice of you.
It has nothing to do with being nice, Deborah, but you're welcome. Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other. If you won't come clean, what's the point of all this?
But, Mr. Featherland...
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm way too old for this game.
Please, just think again. For me and my mistress's sake.
Oh no, -40. Ooh.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Heh, smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him,
Ibn Wessler. The Kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Oh no, I did pretty bad. See, I don't understand how to do this. I think I'm getting a better hang of it the more I play it. But it's not as obvious. I believe you can go back and replay the interviews. I'm not entirely sure. I'll check later. Alright, so this revealed the big secret. There's Natasha Catzanko. She's literally a cat. And then her boyfriend is Ibn Wessler, the infamous gangster who's a rat. It's a big deal because, you know, it's a predator dating the prey, and usually it ends up in homicide in this world, so that's a big deal, but it's like an old film noir movie.
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
If you didn't catch it, Molly is his wife. And I really like how they have the lights. Like it's the blinds across this.
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you alright?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Catzanko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Czar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Catzanko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk
boy.
about the rest with Ms. Catzanko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
So, you know, you're getting all this information filled out. 555932, that's his phone number. Let's call him up.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend. up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop.
Oh, ho,
The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me.
Now, you know, I was really confused at first because I was like, how do I get out? Why aren't these guys leaving? You just click on the map and then go there. But for now, I think I can open
Could
up
I
more
ask you
questions.
a few more questions, Deborah?
Feel free.
So you can skip through that, and then you can get more information.
So, Ibn Wessler, eh? You know you could have dropped the bomb a little earlier.
If I started with that, I'm sure you would have thrown me out.
You're right. He's one of the most dangerous gangsters in the city.
I only know he's an influential businessman.
Isn't that the same?
Not even you can see the world as that black and white.
So yeah, if you talk through here, like you can get more information. I'm gonna skip some of that because there's a lot of this, and I want to show off a little bit more. So if you guys are interested in the game, you can click through it yourself. I highly recommend doing so. They did a really good job of making this feel very immersive. I'm gonna click on the map and go to the precinct. Over here, you can see these icons. Oh, there's supposed to be another cutscene. It doesn't play, so just click the mouse button for Windows 7.
I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
Not entirely sure what this is referring to, but they do give you little bits and pieces. Marty shot Sonny for some reason, we don't know why, so that's gonna be explained later. Talk to these guys.
Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny, what you scratching out over here? I heard the big boss threw you out.
Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop, just like you. Well, more than you.
Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bud. By the way, you're on luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy is in charge.
Oh, God. That clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky.
You got it.
You looking for Marty, eh?
I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together.
I see you're still the funny guy round here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range. As always.
Hey, Royce. I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat.
I'd love to see that.
Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk?
I guess calling a chicken a feather duster is racist. Anyways, One thing of note too, if you talk to people multiple times, there'll be multiple conversations you can have, and then when it starts repeating, that's the last one. So if you're the type of player like I am, where you want to see and hear everything, just talk to them until
By the
they
way,
repeat
what's
it.
with the raincoats? Couldn't you find an umbrella?
Why? Frank says it'll be rain. And see, it's raining. He's a frog, so he must know.
Yeah, well, I'm a rooster, but I hate getting up early.
Raincoats are just fine, okay. You have a problem with that, Sonny?
No, just, you know, the spikes sticking through and all.
Is something wrong with our spikes, chicken?
Yeah, you know what? Just forget it.
Yeah, it's a little comedic.
Here we are again, Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history, but if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, the place holds the secrets of the ages, and some drunk pigs in the basement. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Boss Bird. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be celebrating somewhere?
Every day's a holiday since I got out of here.
I can tell. But what are you doing here? Are you here for a file? You know, I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, you could look after a few things for me, but first I'd like to talk to Mr. Big Beak McChicken himself. Those two prickly assholes told me he's emptying the magazines in the hole.
His actual name, his partner's name is Marty MacChicken.
Like always. And if he carries on like that, he's gonna use up all our ammo. So it would be nice if you drag him out of there. You know how this day is for him.
For him?
You know I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so just sign here and you're good to go.
Thank you, darling.
Don't mention it, Boss Bird.
No, you can't talk to these people. I'm just gonna skip some of that to show off the main plot.
This is gonna be a hard ride. Last time we saw each other, he had a smoking gun in his hand, and I was bleeding. I don't know how we can get past that, but it's worth a try.
He names his guns.
Her Majesty Big Bertha. Or rather, Big Bertha 2, because there was one before her, a sawed-off little broad, but we lost her in a swamp. Marty cried for a week. But once he saw this giant lady here, the balance of the universe was restored.
You know, Linda, Susie, Claudia. Now this one you can kind of shoot. Oh shoot. Sorry, I'm just used to shooting everything. I didn't do too bad. Yeah, I got over 10,000 points because I wanted to beat Marty. So my best score was 10,530. You left click to shoot. You have 6 shots. You right click to reload. If you shoot a civilian, you lose time, and the best way to do it is you shoot once and then you reload when there's a little gap, and then when the civilian drops down, just get ready to shoot the person behind him, and then you can do pretty well. It's just a fun little mini game. They don't have these little things here and there. Oops, I exited. Okay. Alright, let's talk to Marty.
Hey, Marty.
I would recommend using the eyeball because it kind of tells you his thoughts on the person. Like these things, like the extra conversations and stuff, don't really change the gameplay, but it does give you a better glimpse into the world.
Oh, well, look who's here. Hello, Boss Bird. What, are you lost? This is the PD building, you know?
Cut the shit, Marty. We're better than this.
Well, at least you are. Better than anyone, huh?
Marty, come on, let's forget that. What's past is past.
Easy for you to say, Sonny.
Damn it, Marty, you shot me, remember? I almost bled to death.
Hell yeah, I remember. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't good enough.
Oh, the shame.
I need your help, okay? That's what you want to hear.
Well, it's a start.
Okay, I've said it. I won't do it again.
Yeah, right.
So, are you in? Just for tonight. Small case. We'll wrap it up in no time.
What kind of case?
A personal one.
How personal?
Very. The kind of case where if you come with me right now, you're not on duty anymore.
Ooh, damn, Sonny. Stop it right there. I'm in.
That's it?
Do you know how boring life is here without your stupid, reckless shit? Soon enough, I'll shoot all the ammo in here out of boredom. Right, so, tell me, what's it about?
I'll tell you in the car.
Ooh, can I bring Bertha?
Ah, for the love of... Marty, this is a routine case. You can't bring your shotgun, okay? Bertha stays.
Okay. But at least Susie can come, right?
All right, Susie can come.
Yeah, I love how he named his guns.
That's what I want to hear.
Okay.
Hey, Marty, what about Laura? How come she didn't eat you yet?
Yeah, very funny. We're good, by the way. Mostly. As good as we can be after all these years.
Glad to hear it.
She asks a lot about you.
Really?
Yeah. She always hated you for getting me into trouble all the time.
Understandable.
But she also felt sorry for you.
Ah, well, thanks. That's much better.
If I'm honest with you, she loved the chicken police, Marty, better than this one.
Well, I think I'll take that as a compliment.
Whatever, Sonny.
Still drink coffee?
Yeah, my only poison. Except for guns, of course. And women.
A check-in of taste.
We could visit our old haunt. What do you think?
Oh, a nice cup of Zips coffee and the hot dog. I'm in. Oh, and maybe we'll get into a little fight too, huh?
If it comes to that, I'm leaving you without a blink.
Oh yeah, like last time?
Those were different times, Marty. With a different Sonny.
Well, all right. To the city then.
You don't have to come with me, you know.
Okay, I know. Let's go. Sonny, there's a little problem.
Not so little, and it smells, too. What the furry hell is Blood Boil doing here?
Well, it seems we can't avoid speaking to him.
Oh, yes, we can. You have your rifle with you, right?
What?
Just kidding. Sort of.
That's the chief. He looks and sounds like I imagined he would.
What a surprise. The two pigeons back together. And without my permission, of course.
Chief Bloodboil.
Damn.
What was that, Santino?
Nothing, sir. What a lovely evening. Am I right?
I don't want to hear your crowing, Santino. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, careful with the racist barking, old hound.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Can we just skip this part?
And you're on duty, if I'm not mistaken, Martin. Where do you think you're going?
That's it, boss. To serve and protect. Sonny was in the neighborhood and stopped by to say hi. He's a cop too, right?
Only on paper, and you know that very well, Detective.
I don't want any trouble, boss. I just wanted to say hi to Monica, and then this feather pillow showed up. I invited him to grab a quick coffee. You can allow him that much, can't you?
Your coffee breaks usually end up in shooting or brawling, chickens.
Oh, just a coffee, boss, I swear. Oh, have a heart. It's New Year's Eve, and I haven't seen my old partner for so long.
I like how they're in the same pose, but if you look at the fingers, it's slightly different. So, you know, it's like a dude posing for this, and they just Photoshop an animal head on top.
How touching. You shot him with a shotgun, if I remember.
Family quarrel.
For all the marrow bones of the world, get the hell out of my sight.
Have a lovely evening, boss.
You especially. Fuck off right now, Santino.
No language. But yeah, I love the voice acting.
We can't avoid speaking with the chief first. And it would be nice to say goodbye to Monica, too. We're leaving, sweetheart.
Stay safe, boys. I'm glad to see you two together again.
I'm afraid you're alone with that.
Hey, don't make me change my mind.
You won't, Marty. I bet you can't wait to get mixed up in some serious trouble again.
Yep, that's true.
I'm serious, boys. Be careful out there.
We're big birds, Monica. We can take care of ourselves.
Okay, but take care of each other, too.
Will do, Monica.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll go to the hot dog. So if you look here, this is limited time, so it's not gonna be there. Oh, we can go to the elements too.
The hop dog was like the last warning. You can still turn back. My eyes lingered on the sign. An enormous dog. Like a neon god with limitless power over cheap hot dogs, plastic hamburgers, and watered-down coffee. The cold light called me, but I didn't want to get out of the car. If we went in, we were all gonna be pancakes, kept together by cold syrup. Marty's worried look shook me out of my reverie. Oh, cluck. Was I talking to myself again?
There should be a collectible here. Oh, it's gone. So there's a magazine here that you can pick up. I'm glad they don't make you pick it up in each playthrough. But yeah, that's the first collectible that I saw.
Hey, pal.
Look, he's an actual fly with fly armor. See, this looks way more natural. It's a little weird. Some people have like, you know, arms that are human, and other people have like actual bug or animal arms.
Can you hear?
Let's see. Yeah, we don't sell bugs here, so there's some kind of like insect ghetto and discrimination against bugs.
Ugh, the place is deserted. Poor Zip.
You're right.
Yeah, the guy's middle name is Bad Luck.
That's for sure.
Look at it. He has hand tattoos and nails. There's a jukebox here if you want to change songs. The door broke down and then he had to replace it.
The door didn't look like this last time.
Yeah, because last time you tore it out and beat that baboon with it.
Let's skip it.
Hello, boys. Now, get the hell out of here while I'm asking nicely.
Hey, is that how you greet two old friends?
Look at his hands. He has nails.
Hey, I'm not joking, Sonny. I got a shotgun under the bar.
No, you don't, because if you had, we'd arrest you here and now.
So someone pointed this out, and I can't unsee it. I think it was Alley Queen, but his headline goes down here, and it's just cutting through his jacket, so they kind of cut it to make it look like a mullet. I thought it was a mullet at first, but then like, not possible, because there's like his head's right here. So it curves in, I guess. I don't know. After that, I couldn't unsee it.
If there's still life in you when you're full of buckshot.
Ah, it's going well so far.
With those nails, though.
We're just here for a coffee, Zip, okay?
Nothing's like old times. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's quite noticeable.
Shit. All right. And where'd you blow in from?
We haven't been anywhere yet, but we're going somewhere.
Everybody's going somewhere, right?
Tell me, how much do you know, Zip?
That depends. How deep is it?
Bottom of the well kind. Goes down around Ibn Wessler.
Holy hell! Wessler?
If you've got anything on him, don't keep it to yourself. We'd be grateful.
Grateful. Maybe you're not gonna trash my joint this time, eh? You know, Ibn's acting strange nowadays. He always believed that if you want something done, you do it yourself. That's how it was for years, anyway.
And?
But now, he left his real estate, the fish racing clubs, the casinos, and the bars to his right-hand man, Mongrel Mick. And ever since, he's been kinda weird. Bottomed out, brooding in the seediest joints of the city. Nobody ever knew him to be like this. Weird, huh?
Yeah, weird. Do you think it's about a lady?
It's always about a lady.
Well, there is a woman.
I knew it.
But not like you think.
Is this gonna cost much?
Only a favor, like the good old days.
Okay, I'm in. So, about that woman. Is she really that dangerous?
What woman isn't, huh?
No, Zip. I mean really dangerous.
She's got the most influential gangster of the city wrapped around her finger. She calls him her little furball. How dangerous do you think she is?
I didn't go here last time, but it's okay. We're gonna go to the Tsar Club, and that's where I'm gonna end it. To show this off a little bit. Forgot again, there's supposed to be a cutscene.
So this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird.
Oh, Marty.
Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in. Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful chilly night?
It's like a French accent. He's definitely not a Bill or a Bob.
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah,
don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Oh, I think I was supposed to go back to the apartment to collect the flyer.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Fine, but you can talk to Lewis.
Hey, that's your
Lewis.
To be honest,
No, but
you're reading.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner, but I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
He forgot his name.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary Chicken Police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal. Just one more thing.
I'm afraid
I do.
I'm gonna...
Just don't... Look, Lewis. That bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Bunny? I'm a rabbit.
Jeez, what?
What? Did I say something wrong?
It's kind of funny, like Buddy, but Bunny.
Sir, how'd you do?
everything's fine, Mr. Aworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
Naturellement, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
Now we can go in.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Tsar. Well, here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real.
So you can drink the whiskey. He apparently has a drinking problem.
Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice, Marty.
No, I just... Look, fellas at the station are talking, All kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others.
Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am?
Look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
Good, and let it stay that way.
I kind of like how Marty's looking out for Sonny.
At least we're cracking this one together, yeah?
Sure, Marty.
Hey, there's Fillmar.
Who? Oh, yes, Fillmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap pulp fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to.
So if you see like a chicken icon, that's like the main thing that you have to talk to. Like these other things you can just look to get, more basically immersion into the world.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
Sarcasm, he's totally a henchman.
Well, well, if it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Phil Marlowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with a feather pillow mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Turk Cayman. Oh, that's such a lame name.
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh, boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Philmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
Get another cutscene. Okay. Bam!
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty MacChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The Rooster Copper's in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sonny Featherland, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is,
Marty MacChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint, the usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter, but to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Hamtaro.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service. Don't be shy, detective. Ask me anything.
All right, Mr. Wessler. Let's see.
Look, detective. If you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler.
Now we can question.
Wessler is a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet.
I like how his head's so tiny.
How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I selected this last time, and I don't remember if it went down or up.
Why didn't you just call the police?
Huh? Why? What would have been the use of that? A few messages aren't enough for a case. You should know that.
Harassment makes for a case. So do threats.
Who were you trying to convince, Sonny, huh? They would have laughed in my face. Anyway, you know, the police station. Once I set foot in there, I'm not coming out again.
Your lawyers are too good for that, Ibn.
Yeah, I guess you're right, chicken.
Minus 15.
Why would anyone have reason to blackmail your girlfriend?
I don't know, maybe because she's my girlfriend?
You think that's enough?
It's plenty enough.
Good point.
Oh, are you finally getting to a point? Or do you really want to dig around in my private life? Because, people who do that end up in the alley, if you catch my drift.
Very much so, Mr. Wessler. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Don't you find these messages dangerous?
That specific word is, it's insulting and obscene, and unfortunately, everyone could see it on the street. I'm sure you know they painted it on the wall.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's unpleasant but no threat in itself. I put it down to some jealous showgirl or a deluded fan. Nothing more.
Jealousy can be dangerous.
Yeah, most crazies are harmless.
You know that firsthand?
Anything else?
Is everything all right between you and Natasha?
Yeah, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Understandable, I guess. Naturally, our relationship is stable and perfect. I'm the setting, she's the gemstone. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
I rarely hear such poetry, but I understand exactly what you mean, Mr. Wessler.
So, you have your answer.
No recent friction?
Wouldn't you like to know?
It would make my job easier.
Yeah, it would only lead you astray. So be glad that I tell you no. No friction.
Ibn is quick-tempered, and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless. Have there been similar threats in the past?
Right to the point, yeah? Yeah, I get it. But sadly, this is a dead end, my friend. No threats like these, whether you believe it or not.
Well, it really seems like a dead end, so I'll just back up and try from a different angle.
You do that.
Oh, minus 10.
The mob boss and the pussycat, eh? How did you even meet?
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off, Corpora, so I accidentally let some big secret slip out, huh?
A simple answer would work.
You know, Natasha, she's both connoisseur and muse. So, how was it? When was it exactly?
You don't remember? That's strange.
Ah, yeah. The Millions, of course. It was like another lifetime. It happened right here. Only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Yeah, maybe she still doesn't know it was me. Then one day, I invited her for a drink with a promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her.
I guess she was willing.
The next day, she had the club in her name.
Well, that is romantic.
Yeah, there are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford.
Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, yeah, at my place in Gold Town. But she has her own kind of a weekend house.
How often does she use the weekend house?
Yeah, every other weekend. Roughly.
I see. That's very important information.
Yeah, if you say so.
Is she completely alone when she's there at the weekend?
As I've told you, Natasha's a free woman, eh? She's an adult. She doesn't need an escort. Or, she didn't need one until now.
Are you afraid for her? You know, a big star like her, alone in that house.
I never said a black car doesn't drive by 2 or 3 times a day, but, it's just caution. Huh. I'm not a monster after all, am I?
I suppose not. So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, but I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. You're right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Ooh, I did pretty bad. I think I got 90% last time.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake. Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Jeez, Marty, you're married. I know there's a cutscene, can't see any of this stuff.
That was, unique. Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined. Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland. Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
What of?
Ibn will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
Oh, my mouse is double clicking.
Do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene.
I'll set it to autoplay.
My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey.
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance.
Okay. Can you imagine a cat wearing makeup? How'd they even look?
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
Okay.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger.
And I remember when I was doing this the first time, it was going really well, like plus 90, and I asked one question. That, you know, that was it. That was the only choice, and it dropped like 40 or 60 points.
That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
That's the picture in the back.
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
Well, you tell me. Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see.
I think I had to ask this one.
Why Deborah? She's a nice girl, but why didn't you come to me?
Didn't you ask her the same thing already?
I did, but I like to hear it from all sides.
Well, since this whole thing started, I admit I'm not too keen on leaving my home. When I do, it's only with an escort.
Ibn Wessler has nothing to do with this?
Ibn has everything to do with me. Almost everything. But I didn't want to upset him with this. He thinks I'm overreacting.
Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So?
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
I don't remember if this was the wrong choice.
Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat?
Every interracial relationship has risk, but yes, this one's more conspicuous than most.
Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical transgressions than I do.
One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am. So, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are. And you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace.
It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it.
Maybe one day you'll experience it, Sonny. Have you ever been with a predator before?
Well...
Well?
That's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around if you don't mind.
As you wish, Sonny.
How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
In all my life? Well...
I just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended.
I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be a kind of insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cockadoodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me.
Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Oh yeah, see? Minus 60. I don't understand.
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes?
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue.
Oh, I did even worse. I don't understand how to do this. Yeah, this part I don't get, to be honest.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight.
I'll skip this. Basically, go to her house. Can I leave now? Yeah.
Well?
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk to Fillmore. And I'm gonna end here.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
Okay, so let's look at it.
We stepped into it, didn't we? We stepped into it, didn't we?
It's a list of names.
Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Fillmore. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, shut up, Marty.
Man, so like it deepens. So like that list.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
It's a list of names. I don't know what the numbers are. It's half torn. Fillmore picked it up from a dead dude from the Wessler residence. The plot thickens. The names are all the upper echelon of the city. So you know something's going on. And guess what? This isn't even the end of chapter 1. There are 4 chapters. The first time I played through up to this point, it took me around 4 hours because I was listening to all of the conversation, all the dialogue. I was looking at everything. I kind of try to go through it as quickly as possible without taking out anything that was important. And, you know, still took around an hour here. So I presume that chapter 1 would end when you go to Natasha's place. So this game does have a bit of content to it. It's a bit of length, a bit of substance to the story. Anyways, I'm gonna call it there. Hopefully it gave you guys an idea what the game is like. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see or for me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, hope you guys are staying safe and sane out there. And catch you guys next time. And the human arms really bother me.